Und weit verlockenen der Erde, und weit verdummt die Sonne sieht, wie the feelings come over Erde, and this throne is on near and near, zerfällt alle Formen und Verdachten, sagt verborgen und wacht, der Virus sind um die Verkrachten, es gibt der Hilfe uns kann vernaht. Und es bleibt unser Staat, en internationalen, so morgen wir so bald. Und es bleibt unser Staat, en internationalen, so morgen wir so bald.
All right. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. This is Comrade Hellas, and today we are going to discuss the 2024 2021 Dutch elections. Are quite special elections with 150 parties. No, not really, but 37 major parties taking part, with the main protagonists being the FFD, the People's Party for Freedom and Democracy, and of course the PFVV, the Party for Freedom. I want to welcome my dear old friend, Comrade Kazariuko from Finland, Comrade King
Good
from
evening.
Russia, and some random paddy that is unavailable for the moment. Comrade King, going to you. How are you today?
I'm doing pretty well. I've been looking forward to the Dutch general election of 2021 for a very long time. Um, yeah. Shall I say something about the
Sure,
police
go on,
already?
go on.
Well,
Take your time.
I support Geert Wilders, the leader, if I'm not mistaken, of the PVV.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Are you racist yourself?
No, I am not. I'm not. I just hate the EU. I want the EU
Alright.
destroyed.
Now,
That's
now,
all.
now, seriously, why would you hate the European Union?
Because it's an imperialist union. It's an imperialist organization, Alice.
And do you think that if Netherlands somehow exits the so-called imperialist union, they're going to somehow quit conducting foreign imperialism?
Can you repeat the last part?
I asked you a quite fascinating theory because you're saying that the EU is imperialist, right? Okay, d'accord, d'accord, bon, bon, bon. So if the Netherlands exits the EU, do you think they will not conduct imperialism anymore?
I do think that they'll still conduct imperialism. However, a Dutch exit from the EU will weaken this imperialism.
All right, I guess you are in favor of national imperialism. Comrade Kazariuko, going to you. What is it at stake in this election?
What is my stake in this election?
No, what's at stake on this election?
What? Upstake? I don't know much
What
about.
is at stake? What do we have to gain or lose with this election?
I don't know. I'm not
Quite,
well versed on.
quite the stream, guys. Quite the
Yeah.
well-spoken stream, guys. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you. Goodbye. All right. Well, personally, I think it's much at stake here. It is a question whether Netherlands is going to be a progressive liberal democracy that respects the rule of law and a state for all the people, or whether it is going to bend to populist daylight dreams about and lies about Islamophobia and xenophobia, and it's going to go down the gutter with every single country that ever did elect any far right party into the parliament. So I think there's much at stake here. I think Netherlands is a very liberal country, so there is not a very strong communist movement. There is the Socialist and the Labour Party, which combined amassed 15% of the votes last elections. But I do believe that here at stake is whether Netherlands is going to continue being a liberal democracy or it will fall into chaos and far-right populism. Quite interesting today is that we are going to check the new party, the Volt Party, Volt Europa, Volt Netherlands. That is a European Federalist Party, progressive and social liberal, which I wish quite the luck, and I hope they gain a lot of seats in the Dutch Parliament. Back to you. Back to you.
Me?
Anyone?
To me?
Anyone? Someone wants to
Okay.
speak. I don't want to.
So what you want to talk about?
We want to talk about European politics. Meanwhile, I reply to my audience. You can go on and talk about the European politics.
Well, I want to mention that the exit polls have happened right now. If you want, you can show the image which was posted in the group and that we're in on the stream, which shows the exit polls.
Oh, we have the exit polls. Excellent. Let me get it now. Ah, for fuck's sake.
All right.
Really, you have to do it like this. Can I have a site that shows it, not from a picture, but from a screen, not from a point of view? Ask the Dutch guy. Why is that Dutch guy away? Alright, I will just load Politico.
No, I'm here. I'm here.
Alright, can you send me the same picture but from the screen, not from the point of view of the lady there?
Holy, I don't know, man. Can you just show the picture that I posted?
No, but that's bad quality. I would like to see it from a screen view. Go to Twitter or something. Don't use social media.
I can look it up.
Thanks.
Alright, can I read out the exit polls?
Wait for the screen. Wait for the screen. Let's do it,
Okay,
Professor.
okay.
Alright, who wants to have a say about the elections?
Alright,
Seems like
should we perhaps...
The socialists lost. The right-wing parties won
Wait,
pretty well as well.
First? Can I have the screen first? Thank you.
Yeah. I'm gonna get the screen for you.
Alright, should we go through the parties first a bit, like what their ideologies are and stuff like that?
Meanwhile, the Dutch guy gets a screen. I would like for you to go through the ideologies and so on and so on.
Yeah. After I get the screen, I can't talk while I'm looking.
No, not you. I would like Comrade King to have his say while you're searching for it, of course.
Basically, the Netherlands is pretty fucked when it comes to elections. If a party gets like 1% or maybe even less, that's enough for them to come into the parliament. The Dutch elections are really fucked, and for this reason, it was often very hard for the Netherlands to form coalitions and governments.
Same with Belgium. They're still without a government. Like, who is going to govern us, right?
Yeah, that might be hard, but I doubt it. The main parties, as you mentioned, the VVD, PVV, and some others. The VVD is basically a liberal conservative pro-EU party. D66 is also pro-EU and is in fact in the coalition of the PVV, or Democrats 66 for long. They are socially liberal and pretty much liberally economically as well. They're pro-EU. Next up, we have the PVV, The PVV is led by Geert Wilders. It's a right-wing populist party, a neo-nationalist party, which wants to leave the EU and is anti-immigration.
Alright.
It's also, sadly, Islamophobic. Yeah.
I would like to.
The
I'm checking
PVV
now
is not
social media.
socialist.
Yeah, I'm checking the social media now, and Volt Europa is going to have 4 seats in the Dutch Parliament, which is quite a historic event. The first European Federalist Party in the Dutch Parliament. Do you have the screen, Paddy?
Yeah, I posted it.
All right, epic. I'm going to put that on the stream now, so our viewers can take a look. Quite the thing, wouldn't you say?
Why the fuck are the PVV, the VVD doing so well this time? And
Basically, how do you say that affected Bouchard after
Spoiler
9/11?
effect?
Rally around the flag effect. The reason why Bush won after 9/11. I think that's basically the reason with
Alright,
Corona.
who
Like
would like
people
to?
want leadership.
Who would like to?
That's why.
Who would like to read the exit poll?
can I read it out?
Really, you don't want the native guy to do it?
Okay, sure, he can do it. He can do
Alright,
it.
let the native guy do it.
Sure. Do you want me to read like the
Yeah, go
differences?
on. No, I
So
would like.
VVD won.
Yeah.
Okay, so VVD, the Liberal Party of Prime Minister Mark Rutte, won 2 seats. PVV lost 3 seats. The CDA, Christian Conservatives, they lost 5 seats. The Liberals of D66, they won quite a few seats. They won 8 seats. Then you have GroenLinks. They won the Green Party basically. They lost quite a few seats. They lost 6 seats. The Socialist Party also lost 6 seats. Then we have the Labour Party, basically stayed the same at 9 seats. The Christian Party, which is kind of a green Christian party, they lost 1 seat. And you have the Party for the Animals. They won 1 seat. They are very progressive when it comes to animals' rights. Obviously, very green as well. Then we have 50 Plus, which is basically a boomer party. It's literally in the name. They lost 3 seats. Then we have SGP, which is a very reformed. It's basically 100-year-old party, very Christian, very they are for the death penalty and all that. And then we have DENK, which lost 1 seat. This is basically a Turkish nationalist party. They also like pro-Islam and all that shit.
Minority.
Minority party, whatever. Then we have FVD. They are also basically also a right-wing version of PVV, a nationalist party. They won 5 seats. Then we have Ja21. Ja21. They won 3 seats, completely new party. They split off from FVD after an argument and a fight, so they got 3 seats. And then we have Volt, which is a pan-European party.
Yes,
I think it's the first
EU
one. EU Federalist Party, basically. They have won 4 seats, which is pretty big, pretty amazing for a new party. And then we have the BBB, which is a farmer citizen party, basically. They are for farmers and they're basically anti-green movement. And then we have Bijeen, which is another minority party, basically trying to get like minority rights and all that stuff. Yeah, basically Black Lives Matter party, you could call it. They won 1 seat as well.
Alright, thank you for your input, my friend. How should I call you throughout the stream?
You just call me Sergeant Gross, whatever.
Alright, thank you, Gross. We see here that the Eurosceptics are uprooted, losing 3 seats, and we have a massive victory for mainly the D66 party. And quite the party to spot is that VVD will still be the major party and probably the next party to form a government. I'm quite happy that Volt Netherlands, or how you say it, is going to enter the parliament with 4 seats. That's quite a historic event, a victory for EU federalists all around. Comrade Kazaryuko, your input to the elections?
Well, I can see that the liberal parties have won and retained seats, while the left-wing parties and the populist parties, right-wing populist parties, have lost. So
Quite so, yeah.
I guess the huge people are probably voting for the liberals because they are think that they have done well in the coronavirus situation.
Yes. Gross, how would you describe the COVID situation in the Netherlands right now?
One moment, please. I'm gonna
Of
type
course.
something.
Okay, we are hopping to Comrade King. Comrade King, your input on the elections?
Well, from the exit polls, from what we see, I don't really like the results, because yeah, obviously, the Democrat 66 party raised a lot in this election, and the other pro-EU parties as well. However, the hot Eurosceptic party and the FVD also rose. So let's go in opinion. Yeah. Do you want to also watch the live counting, if there is any?
Yeah, that would be good. Is there any portal that we can watch or stream?
Does the Dutch guy know any?
He should have. He should.
I mean, I'm watching a Dutch stream, but I don't know if your viewers can really enjoy
I
that.
mean, it's fine if it's in Dutch. It's the only
Yes,
thing we can.
Okay,
just
sure.
drop a link, so that's fine.
Let me see if you can. I don't know if you guys can open it, but I will drop it.
Fair enough.
You might have to be in the Netherlands to view that.
Ooh, we don't want that.
Yeah.
Now I feel sad for refunding my. No, I can watch it.
In isolement geplaatst. De linkse thema's.
Deze is
Links van de linkse partijen probeerden wel de VVD uit te dagen. Maar
Okay.
die werden door de VVD niet opgepikt. Er kwam nooit conflict.
Doesn't it have
Dus
subtitles?
dat is links. Maar op rechts is ook iets.
It doesn't have subtitles in English.
No.
No,
it doesn't.
We hebben Forum.
It's live.
We hebben die ook Ja21 erbij. En die scoren samen weer ongeveer 1/6 van de zetels. En het zien we stevast dat die radicaal-rechtse partijen in Nederland zo ongeveer toppen op ongeveer 1/6 van de zetels.
En Caroline,
Maybe we'll
als je
get
dan kijkt
stricken down by
naar de
copyright
tweede
or
partij,
something like
D66, komt dat dan voor jou als een verrassing?
Ja, wel een verrassing. Ik had gedacht dat ze derde.
Alright, fair enough. We have the live stream here. I'm not sure if I can show it. Maybe we'll get stricken down for copyright issues. That's pretty much it. Now we should discuss the results. You, as a native person, how do you feel about these results?
Well, I would say that basically the people that are for the corona measures, the corona lockdowns, they've won basically. So you can see that the current coalition, which is VVD, CDA, D66, and Christian Union, CDA and Christian Union, they lost seats, but VVD and D66, they won seats. So more or less the government actually won in seats if you count the four parties together. So the same government coalition can rule again if they want to. They don't even need the four parties; they can do it with three parties now. So basically, the people trusted the government apparently, and yeah, they
It
rewarded them.
depends on It depends. Those are still only exit polls. We don't know the actual
It
result.
can still change. It can still change with like 2 or 3 seats maybe, but I would say this can be pretty accurate. Yeah.
Yeah, exit polls are usually accurate.
Like what they did, they have what they do at the end of the voting. They ask people what they voted for, and in total they have 20,000 people who redid their vote. Basically, 20,000 people across the country, which is a pretty large sample size, I would say. And they try to do it as like average as possible in every major area, and make it like of course, the poll as well. So 20,000 would be pretty accurate, I think.
Yeah, of course, we have it all over Europe. I think the most accurate exit polls are those in France. they always come extremely close, within 1 or 2% difference.
Yeah, but France is pretty easy election to predict because it's usually in the second round. It's usually two candidates. It's usually versus Le Pen or whatever, and the other one usually wins. So it doesn't really matter.
Understandable.
But with the Dutch election, it's always the smaller parties. Like right now, we have fucking 4 new parties. Like that's pretty insane. Usually, that doesn't happen. 4 new parties.
Yeah, I think it's much easier to make a mistake there. Do you think it is?
Now we have.
Go on. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Now we have 17 parties in parliament, which is pretty insane. if these polls are all correct, and we have two parties with 1 seat, if they actually get in, we have fucking 17 parties in parliament.
Wow.
Yeah.
I used to get amazed because with Greece we had like 7 parties in parliament once. It's like, wow, so many, and you got 17, and like, it's normal.
You probably discussed it earlier, but the Dutch system is pretty relatively easy to start a political party. You need like a few like autographs in every voting area, and then if you have 1% of the votes, you get 1% of the seats. Yeah,
that's pretty
basically
good, honestly, for people's representation.
Yeah, it's very democratic. It's better than a 5% minimum or something like that you have in Germany countries.
Yeah, we got a 3% threshold.
I agree, Enigma. Volt, in my opinion, like I don't know how, like I'm not a socialist or a left-wing person, so I don't know how you would feel the European Union. In my opinion, I view it as a capitalist organization, a neoliberal organization, and I think that the Volt, the Federalist Party, one is very bad for both right-wing people, but also for you socialists.
No, the issue is that I'm a very pro-EU. I'm an EU federalist.
Okay.
I consider that socialism can only happen through pan-European proletarian awakening, and I think our first step is to ally the liberals and advance the 4th industrial revolution, the automation of production, and UBI even so.
So you think the EU is reformable?
I believe that we should form massive unions of.
You don't think it will stay neoliberal forever?
Of course not. The current system is bound to fail, and
I agree with that. But I don't see socialists getting in power in Europe.
I don't. Volt are not socialist. Volt are center-left economically. They are.
Yeah, sure, but I still don't see them getting in power.
I would literally ally with Satan himself if he was going to help Europe to unite, because I think that's much easier to manipulate. You see, my convictions and my beliefs come from the fact that the European single market is very united. So if there is a strike in France or Germany, it will surely affect Dutch imports and life in the Netherlands, and as it would affect life in Greece. Let's say the 3 big countries with 60 to 80 million people, that would be France, Germany, and Italy. So from my previous experience and historical reading on history, socialism has only succeeded in large multi-ethnic societies, and countries which their market is connected. And this was the intentions of Karl Marx. Socialism is intended to happen in a big multi-ethnic European and Western society. And
well, I have a question to you. Aren't you a Marxist? Okay.
I believe that it's out the utmost respect that we should help the European Union, the African Union, the Islamic League, the CEAN in Southeast Asia, and whatever the Latin Americans have to unite and form a more centralized form of union. Go on, Common King. So that's my point of view.
Well, aren't you a Marxist-Leninist?
Of course, and as Lenin said, our first enemy is our national bourgeoisie. I would find it extremely hard for a Greek socialist state to survive in the wilderness, but a European socialist state, that would be a superpower.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, Lenin opposed United States of Europe himself.
Of course, Lenin being a victim of his time, in which there was little to no success on socialist endeavors in 1920s Europe. Now the point is that for a union like Europe, there is nothing more to it. We either federalize or die. So there is pretty much nothing to it, and I think a European Union, being a federal state, will counterbalance American, Chinese, and of course neo-Nazi Russian imperialism that is threatening the workers in Eastern Europe.
Russia is not neo-Nazi. This is just...
Russia is behaving like 1930s Nazi Germany. They're expanding their holdings all over Europe.
How do you call it expansion? Like Crimea was theirs. Like
no, it wasn't. By international law, it was a Ukrainian territory.
Oh, you believe in international law?
I do believe in international law.
Sure. Christ.
I do believe that if we do not conduct ourselves by the international law, we are not different than Adolf Hitler, just to step up and conquer territories. You know?
Okay, man. Yeah.
Okay, I have a question to you then. Was Obama like Adolf Hitler?
How was
Just so you know, Crimea was a legal referendum conducted by the Crimean president.
No, majority of Crimea, majority of Crimea is Russian.
Listen, okay, fair enough. You got a point here, but listen, the referendum was constituted after a military takeover in Crimea, and even if it happened under free democratic procedures, there is no section in the Ukrainian constitution that allows a territory of it to be annexed by a foreign country or declares it outright independent. So the constitution, since the constitution doesn't provide for it, the annexation was illegal and annulled.
So then it depends on your view if you think the constitution of a country triumphs over basically a referendum or a vote.
Yes, and,
for example, do you also agree that the what's the region in Spain called Catalonia? Do you also think that was illegal? Because then you at least not a hypocrite.
No, I will tell you an example of Catalonia. There was no military occupation in Catalonia. In fact,
but do you think that was legal? Do you think that was legal then?
There was no military.
Do you think Catalonia referendum was legal?
Let's not be hypocritical. Let's be straightforward. According to the Spanish law, no. But
okay.
According to Catalonia, and because this was conducted by democratically elected members of Catalonia and by the people of Catalonia, and there was no military occupation like in Crimea, right? It was fair and legal. Now, you pinpoint the whole argument around Ukraine, right? I'm not talking about Ukraine. You pinpointed the whole argument about Ukraine. I'm not talking about Ukraine. I'm talking about Abkhazia. I'm talking about Ossetia. I'm talking about Chechnya. I'm talking about Transnistria. I'm talking about the Central Asia. Like Russia is moving its tentacles all over the Eurasia, and you are clapping to this, and you think...
No, I'm not clapping to that. I'm not like pro-Russia. I'm not like pro-Russia, but I would say they're reasserting themselves. I wouldn't say they're like... I wouldn't call them tentacles. I would say they're reinserting... They went from a superpower to a regional power, and now they're reasserting themselves as a great power.
No, they are a superpower now. No, they're not a
superpower. It was not. In the 1990s they were a regional power, a regional backwater, and now they're reasserting themselves as a greater power.
I'm not sure if I could even call them a great power.
Not a great power, but basically in between a superpower and a regional power. That's what I mean. That's what I kind of are.
I will.
Like they're stronger than like Turkey, which is also a regional power, and that's what I mean.
I wouldn't call a country that has the GDP of South Korea as a...
Okay, listen.
The Benelux also has a bigger economy than Russia.
Okay, listen, you didn't let me speak.
Yes, the Benelux together they do. Yeah, I believe that.
Okay, anyway, Russia is
calling Russia like Hitler or Nazi just because they expand a little bit, which is of course illegal. Yeah, I agree, it's illegal, but the Crimea one which is also I guess legal. Yeah, if you go by the definition of legal and illegal, I would still say that the Crimean expansion is like totally fair in my opinion because that's Russian majority. The other ones, I agree with you on. That's kind of...
I don't know about that, and still, we are talking about Chechnya, Georgia, Moldova, like, we are not talking about Ukraine.
Okay, listen.
The leader of Chechnya is a pro-Putin guy, right?
Definitely.
So
Okay. Can I speak out now? For fuck's sake.
I think we should give some time to Comrade Kazariuko because he's had no saying, and I feel very unjust on him. He has some based opinions on this matter.
On what matter?
On Russian imperialism.
I thought this was about Dutch elections.
Yeah, but can you have 2 minutes to talk about Russian imperialism?
Yeah, what there is to talk about Russian imperialism? I agree with Comrade Hellas here that Russia is an imperialist nation.
You should speak freely about your opinions, and I think I need some backup here because the pro-Russians are about to get to me. All right, Comrade King, go on.
Well, what?
Oh no, go finish your sentence first.
Well, I was just about to say that Russia, yes, it is trying to, how do you say it, use its tentacles around the countries nearby it, and they are also trying to reach to European countries by subverting elections and stuff like that.
Yes.
Like the Marine Le Pen in France, it is a marionette of Putinist Russia. And
So
some people here actually think that Russia is somehow not imperialist nation. That is laughable.
I agree it's imperialistic, but the other guy, the Hellas guy, Comrade Hellas, I guess, he called them like Nazis or Hitler, and that's really wrong because imperialism is not like equal to Hitler or whatever existed for.
Well, it is not a Nazi. I think he was exaggerating. He was being.
I would love if we didn't interrupt each other, but I use the neo-Nazi term to poke on my Russian friend, Comrade King.
Okay, fair enough.
But I still believe that they behave like 1930s Germany, basically, trying to grab little pieces around them and meddle with the international law and trying to get as much power they can, while the Western powers, and of course America, that is the world police, is sleeping or has an internal issue. Continue, guys.
All right. Can I speak out now?
Comrade King, your time.
Okay. I'd like. There was no military takeover in Crimea. If there was one, there will be for one in fighting. And secondly, the troops in Crimea were there for hundreds of years. The military base there. It wasn't like. It didn't appear out of nowhere in 2014. No, it existed in the 18th century already. And also, I'd also like to mention that Crimea became independent because of the government led by Vladimir Konstantinov, and it declared independence to then make a referendum. He was elected in 2010, not in 2014. Later, they had a democratic referendum, which he signed with Putin. There was no military takeover, and it was pretty legal. And also, at the time when the referendum did happen, Kiev had no actual government, really. It was more of an anarchy.
Thanks for stating your opinion. Can we go back to Netherlands and the EU?
Okay, sure.
I'm tired of talking about Russia every time. I know that you love your country. The issue here, as I said, now that we talk about the EU and Russia, I think the EU should be a strong deterrent against Russia, and at the same time compete with the US and China on technology, progress, industrialization, and economic prosperity. It is fundamental that we have a strong centralized state that will cherish European values and democracy, and at the same time forward progressive legislation.
Human rights and
yes.
Basic rights of every individual, and not just the rich.
Yes, and create a country of law, order, and egalitarianism and equality that every European should have completely covered.
But I have a question to you. Why are you so obsessed with democracy as a Marxist-Leninist? Lenin said that democracy, for the workers at least, for the Marxists, is when there is a dictatorship of the proletariat. So, from a Marxist-Leninist point of view, you should not support, the kind of bourgeois democracy that the EU supports. And also, I like to mention that what is it called? Democracy that the kind of bourgeois democracy that the EU has was denounced by Marxists such as Marx and Engels themselves. You should not support that, you know?
Now, the issue is that you want to go on a very dogmatic and orthodox debate, but I think you have to understand that democracy, as the people having the power to vote their representatives, is something that, first of all, Marxist and left-wing people cherish. And
you should also understand that Europe was a lot different place when Marx and Engels lived, because back then the normal worker couldn't just go out and voice their opinions because
they
you
called
needed
in the
education.
UK and the US. They actually talked a lot about the UK and the US.
No, the issue is that, sure, and in Prussia, no, but in the UK and the US, of course, it was fairly more liberal, but still, it's not as free as it is today. And I think as left-wing individuals, we must cherish and promote freedom of speech and freedom of the press. It benefits us, if nobody else, nevertheless. Although I'm in favor of crackdacking both fake news and hate speech, because they should not be the same as free speech and free press. It's not the same voicing your opinion with scientific facts, and it's not the same, and reporting some story, and it's not the same on spreading lies and propaganda through the social media and deceiving people. Of course, these are like very sensitive subjects nowadays.
How does the EU have freedom of speech and freedom of press? Have you heard of Ursula Haverbeck? She was jailed for maybe having Holocaust denial beliefs. She was jailed for that. That's not really democratic, is it?
That's very good. That's if you deny the Holocaust.
It's not democratic though.
It is.
It's not democratic though.
Because what it means to be democratic.
You should be in prison. Why?
Listen.
Because she might have Holocaust denial beliefs.
What it means to be democratic is that the people have the power to elect their officials and vote laws in power. Imprisoning someone if they deny the Holocaust has nothing to do with democracy. It's actually very democratic to ostracize neo-fascists from your community. For a tolerant society to remain tolerant and open-minded, it needs to be intolerant towards intolerance. And
so you're mainly talking about voting, right? You do know that, bourgeois politics is kind of fake, the elections are pretty much controlled by the bourgeoisie. The results are controlled by the bourgeoisie.
This is the issue. This is what you guys don't understand. You and then anarchists. They think that the elections are controlled, which is false. Yes, there's a heavy influence based on groups of power and influence, but at least on paper, the people have the right to vote for whoever they want, and if they want to vote for a communist party, they will vote for a communist party. Nevertheless, we should seek more to appeal to people rather than say that all elections are fraudulent or all elections are doomed to fail. This is a very negative thinking, and I don't think it has any place in the 21st century.
Yeah.
If you cannot convince the majority of the people, or at least the majority of the working people, the productive people, the industrial workers, that your ideas are correct, your ideas will benefit them, they should back you, they should strike with you, they should vote for the Communist Party, they should want a vanguard to lead them, they should walk through violent means to gain their rights and gain their interests. Then what are your beliefs worth? You guys are into some
in some cases, the ruling class sometimes surrenders. So a peaceful.
I will tell you something, Comrade King. You are into some 1984 fetish that you want mind control over people, and you believe that it's better if you control the people. This is what you Russians don't get wrong. Authoritarianism and autocratic rule has nothing to offer in the 21st century. you have Putin ruling over you. You have the oligarchs ruling over you. Russian workers have nothing. Russian workers have little to profit from their labor. And let me be frank, it's not much better in some European countries. We live from hand to mouth here too. Don't get me wrong. It's not the American dream, my friend. But at least we have the opportunity, and we are available to change our government of system, to gain more rights, to put our interests forward through democratic means. You cannot do that. We can do that, and that's the difference here.
Replace the word oligarchs with the European bourgeoisie, and you will get a different picture of Europe, because that's pretty much the truth about Europe. And just so you know, there is no oligarchy anymore in Russia since mid 2018. You're living in the past, man. You gotta wake up and live in the present now. And also, I'd like to mention that Russia isn't doing as bad as you think. Wages don't determine everything. I mean, like, what's the purpose of having high wages when you can't afford anything? You gotta keep everything into account.
You didn't pay attention to what I was saying, but it's alright.
You were also talking about freedom of speech in Russia and all that, voting rights. I mean, there is freedom. Huh?
Which is non-existent.
It does exist. I don't know why you.
Sake. Why do we have to do this a European, a Russian thing again? We're talking about Europe here.
Okay. So we skip this shit, okay?
You imprison Navalny for setting foot on Russia, and you're going to.
Yeah, Navalny is a far-right extremist, and I told you.
And we imprisoned a far-right journalist or whatever was that, a far-right.
Yes, I'm not saying that Russia is 100% democratic or that the EU is 100% democratic.
No,
However, I'd say that Russia.
Being democratic and protecting your democracy are two different things, right? I'm in favor of imprisoning Holocaust deniers and actual neo-fascists, but I'm not in favor of suspending democracy or not having elections. You have to understand this, right? Two different things.
I mean, Russia does have elections and doesn't suspend democracy.
Yeah, they do have elections, and guess what? There is only one party winning all the time. Very good elections, right?
Yeah, you know why? Because it's popular, but now it's losing popularity anyway.
I hope they lose popularity, and I hope there is democratic transition. But trust me, there will be no democratic transition, my friend.
Oh, by the way, I have a question to you. What do you think of the Moscow 2019 election?
Which election are we talking about? The Dutch election or Moscow election, guys?
Well, no, I just want to know his opinion on this one thing.
This is what happened when you have him on stream.
I mean, this stream was my idea after all.
I think the Moscow city elections were completely bullshit, and
I mean, the United Russia lost a lot of seats. They were in a crisis back then.
And they still won the majority of the seats despite having less votes than the Communist Party. So, no, thank you.
That's not true. You can look again.
I'm checking them right now, and they won 25 seats, and the Communist Party won only 13, despite having more votes than them. So please.
Are you talking about the same election as me right now?
Yeah, the 2019. Go Google it up. All right. Can we move on another subject?
Okay, sure.
All right. Let the Dutch guy say something. It's his fucking country. It's his fucking election, for Christ.
Well, I don't. I posted a picture in the Discord.
Yeah, that's the results from 2012 compared to now.
No, 17. 17.
Ah, 17. So there, in 17,
there can still be a few seats difference. That's what I'm saying. Right. Like, but it's basically results. Yeah.
The PFDA completely perished in that election.
Yeah, which is the Labour Party. yeah, they still have 9 seats now.
Volt is losing a seat?
No.
What's the live? NOS.
Oh, fuck. Oh, I wouldn't say fuck. I kind of like that, but...
Damn.
Wait.
It goes one more to the D66, I think.
FPD is increasing. Nice. I like that.
Who is increasing?
FPD. Far right party.
You like the far right part?
Can you show statistics?
Yeah, it's on the television right now.
FPD is increasing. Damn. At the government party.
Yeah, I think the government have it let's be honest.
Can you like put it on the stream or something? Also, in elections, it's often like that the rural areas vote first. That's why the FBZ might be so popular. I'm not sure how it is in the Netherlands, but that's how it was back then when I was watching the Slovak general election in
basically in 9 o'clock all the polling centers close, all the voting centers, and then they already have an exit poll. And I don't think that's like for rural areas or anything like that. And they just count it. They count it per municipality, of course, but I don't think it really matters if it's rural or not.
All right.
All right.
So yeah, Volta losing 1 seat from the 3 that they gained, but yeah, they still get in the parliament, which is still pretty big.
Yeah, the FVD, I remember, but like in 2019, I think, or 2018, I think 2019, like 2 years ago, I was watching, I was looking like at a graph of like opinion polls in the Netherlands, and I was seeing that at one point, the FVD became the biggest party in the Netherlands. And
they did.
What?
Yeah, the Senate election or the provincial elections, I should say, which elects the Senate. They became the biggest party, but they had some.
I'm talking about opinion polls right now.
Yeah. Well, but that was also true. Opinion polls, they were also the biggest, but that was like 2 years ago.
Yeah, 2 or 3 years ago, and yeah. Now I thought that they will win, but whether that is true remains to be seen. I doubt that this is still true to this day. The party of Geert Wilders managed to catch up a lot.
Catch up? No, they lost seats. What do you mean?
Yeah, but look, if I'm not mistaken, they had like 8 seats at one point, in opinion polls.
Oh yeah, true. That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, but whereas the FBD had like 29 seats, they stole seats from them, and later Geert Wilders' party gained a lot of seats again.
Yeah. Well, there's also a new party right now, which is in 21, which has 3 seats right now. It seems new party.
That's,
they split up from FVD after internal fighting.
Oh, never mind.
So they basically in total they have 10 seats. But if you like,
I thought you were talking about some post-capitalist party. Never mind.
No. But if you subtract the 21, it's actually 7 seats for. Yeah, it is 7 seats, of course, for FVD and 2 seats for the other one. So they would be if it was like 2 years ago, they might have been the biggest. But yeah, that's 2 years ago. They had a lot of infighting, unfortunately.
Wow.
But yeah, it's insane. 17 parties right now in Parliament. If these exit polls are right, 17.
Who did you vote for?
Me myself, I voted for FVD.
Alright.
So I'm satisfied. I would say I'm not like happy or something because I was expecting I was expecting between 5 or 10 seats. So that's basically what I was guessing. But I was hoping for more.
Did you vote for Geert Wilders?
Because
to be honest,
this guy, I like him as well, somewhat, but not too much. Like,
why would you vote
for he's too much. He's focused too much on Islam, which is kind of. He's like a one.
I agree with you.
It's only about Islam and immigration, and there's more issues in the world than Islam and immigration. So
yeah, listen. I also prefer the FVD, but you see, Geert Wilders and his party are more popular, so I support voting strategically. I support.
I agree voting strategically, but this election was not about voting strategically because it was already known that the VVD would be the large party, and every other party is excluding PVV. So they have literally no chance to govern like at all. And even if they are the second biggest, they would not govern. So it's not about strategic voting, in my opinion. But I understand your viewpoint. A lot of PVV people think the same.
Why did you vote for the FFD, for example?
Well, I like some of the points, like reducing immigration, getting out of the EU.
Wait, are you on the left?
And they were anti-lockdown, anti-corona measures. That's as well.
Is the guy a comrade?
A what?
Are you a comrade?
I mean, like I told you, I'm not left-wing socialist or communist at all.
You're not, so, okay. Because you
yeah.
were Enigma's friend, so I thought you would be.
I would call myself a monarchist, actually, a nationalist, whatever you wanna label it.
An orangist guy?
A what?
Orangist guy.
Well, I don't like. I like monarchy in general, but I don't really like our current ruling family because the grandfather of the current king, he founded the Bilderberg group and all that shit. So I'm not really big fan. The Bilderberg.
Alright.
Bilderberg.
Do you know
group,
what the Bilderberg Club is?
It's in how far I understand it, it's basically a group of large capitalists, international ruling class elites who come together once a year to discuss large political issues. Is that an accurate statement?
Do the members change? Do they rotate every year, or do they stay the same?
I have no clue how it works because it's also
that the members are actually rotating every year.
I have no clue. No, I don't know that, but I know that one of the members.
Because
okay, yeah, fair
enough. There is a lot of misinformation about the Bilderberg Club.
Oh yes.
And the issue with the Bilderberg Club is people think that they are conspiring behind doors on changing the world and stuff like that.
I mean, it is behind closed doors, isn't it? Or is it not?
It is behind closed doors, and this is the point. I will tell you why. So, if I tell you online, we are live stream, right? And I can tell my viewers, fuck you, you guys are assholes. Nobody will give a shit, pretty much. But okay, Comrade Hill is a dick. Maybe we won't watch his next stream, right? Fair enough. But if, let's say, Obama, or who's that guy, the guy with a pen on his nose, Gerd Wilders, goes and says, you know what, I believe you guys are assholes, and you shouldn't have democracy, you shouldn't vote, because you're idiots. His entire career will be finished completely until the end of his life. And maybe after the end of his life, they will throw shit on his grave. Now, this is exactly...
Well, actually, I disagree with you. Have you heard of Duterte?
Comrade King, please, don't interrupt me for a minute.
Okay, sure.
So, what the Bilderberg Club is doing, they take important personalities who are public figures and cannot speak publicly what they believe 100%, honestly, and behind closed doors, they can talk about their opinions openly, and they can discuss new measures and new opinions and new ideas on how to solve issues. And this is what the conspiracy theorists don't understand, that if they were actually conspiring to do anything, they would have an exact member seat. They'll be like, okay, the five of us, we will conspire together next year again, but they rotate the members. It is basically a club for influential people to speak openly about their ideas and exchange opinions, and they rotate every year. So there is nothing dark or vicious going behind the shadows and trying to overturn democracy or something like that. Yeah.
Oh no, I don't think they are like anti-democracy or something. I'm just not a big fan of elitist people.
Half of these people are balanced, but they are not trying to conspire on anything. I'm just
I know that. So I'm just saying I don't like the group. That's what I'm saying.
Alright, fair enough. So you say you're a monarchist, right?
Yeah.
Do you enjoy paying a royal family from your taxes?
You know, that's what a lot of people say, but you could say the same argument for president. A president is usually a faceless person. People don't know who the president of Germany is, and many people do know who the king and queen of the Netherlands are. So I would say, in general, a king, royal family is more popular than a president. And they waste some money, but they also bring in money for tourism and that kind of stuff.
I don't know any president that eats million of kronas or whatever you use. You use the euros now, right?
A lot of them do.
Yeah, you use euros now. So I don't know any president that is wasting that much. The US
maybe not that much, but they also cost money, and they basically do nothing besides writing laws, like approving laws.
Let's be honest. Greece doesn't have a king, but we still have we're the country with the most tourists per capita in Europe, at least.
Yeah, sure. I agree.
I don't think kings bring tourism. Death Mark here says that feeling when you dislike elitists but you support monarchy. El Mao. That's
Yeah.
Yeah, that's quite funny.
I know. That's kind of.
What are your religious beliefs?
Yeah, he's right. I'm not saying that I hate all elites or rich
fair
people.
enough. What are your religious beliefs?
My religious beliefs?
Yeah.
Well, I'm kind of atheist, but I'm trying to be I'm trying to get back into Christianity.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Are you a Calvinist?
I was raised Calvinist. Yeah.
Ah, interesting.
Or Reformed, I should say. Dutch.
Yeah, Reformed. Yeah, Dutch Reformed. I have a bit of understanding towards Reformed religions. Do you agree with the statement "Liever Turks than Paps"?
Yeah, it's at the time I think you mean the 8-year war where we allied. Yeah. I mean, yeah, at the time it makes sense. I mean, you can even make a statement about it in the current times. Like, I agree with a lot of I'm generally opposed to immigration, but I prefer a lot of Muslims, like their beliefs, over the beliefs of a lot of liberals in the Netherlands. So there are some
Fair point.
agreements to that.
Fair point. I find the Dutch people completely obnoxious, arrogant snobs. But
I agree. But I would say the same about the French.
And I'm quite pissed about the fact that you invented capitalism. No, I'm kidding. I like.
You probably really like our former finance minister Jeroen Dijsselbloem.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
That guy. He had a standoff with Yanis Varoufakis.
With Zapiris, or what's the prime minister? The older one, the old prime minister Tsipras.
Our prime minister was Alexis Tsipras, but our minister of finance was Yanis Varoufakis, and they had a standoff, which became really popular in EU politics. That he whispered something to his ear, to Dijsselbloem. All right. On the topic, I find the Dutch people generally quite appealing their national struggles, because we literally say the same. We say that we will prefer the Turkish sword to the Papist bread, so death over conversion. So yeah, I find them appealing, and I am quite. I see positive their national struggle. As for the invasion of capitalism that I suggested before, I think it was something great, because it pulled Europe out of the Middle Ages.
Yeah. Thanks for the stream. I gotta go.
We'll end soon. I would like to show again the exit poll here, because a guy asked who won. Trinksty, so far we have the current government gaining a lot of seats. 2 from the FFD, who are liberal conservatives, if I'm not mistaken. And D66 is also gaining 8 seats, a staggering amount. So yeah, I think the current government basically retained its majority in the parliament. I hope that covers your question. All right, Gross, it was nice talking to you. Thanks for joining us, and have a good night.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right, mate.
See ya.
All right, Comrade King, you want to say something?
Sure. Yeah, I agree with you that Dutch people invented capitalism, and this was great because it put the Netherlands out of feudalism and stuff like that. I'd also like to mention that Dutch people are basically Germans. Fuck you. Deutsche.
Yeah.
Dutch people are Deutsche.
I think that will piss some Dutch viewers. We call them in English swamp Germans because they live in the
Nice.
swamps. Yeah, as a matter of poking them right in the eye bob. Comrade Kazariko, any statement here?
What there is to say? Don't really know.
Are you satisfied with the election results?
Well, I guess I am fairly satisfied because
Eurosceptics lost.
Yeah, that's basically it.
All right. I think we can pretty much end it here. I'm not going to stay up whole night for the results. Personally, I'm very satisfied that the Eurosceptics are defeated. It is
That another European nation is more interested in solidarity with other Europeans than go selfish.
The European Union is standing strong. We won in France, we won in Sweden, we won in Italy, and now we are winning in the Netherlands.
Well, you lost in Italy.
No, we won in Italy.
In Italy, the Five-Star Movement and the Lega Nord came to power.
No, the Lega Nord was expelled from power, and they allied.
No, you can look up the Italian government. They are still there.
No. They removed Salvini from the government, and now they are with the Social Democrats, the Five Stars movement. You can search it up. So we defeated Salvini and ousted him from the government. That was an epic victory, and we won everywhere. Europa siegt an allen Fronten. The European Union is here. It is here to stay. It is strong. The people have solidarity with each other. You perfidious Anglos can buzz off. We don't even want you here. Take your island and go with your American buddies. In Europe, we believe in the French values of liberté, égalité, fraternité. And we are going to go forward from this day on. I am looking forward for more victories. I hope Zionist, far-right Zionist Benjamin Netanyahu is also defeated in Israel.
Yeah, we'll also stream the Israeli legislative election on the 23rd of March.
We will stream the
23rd.
Yeah, we'll stream
of this month.
Yeah, we'll stream the Israeli elections as well. We should do it frequently. It was fun. Next time we should be more educated on the subject. But I cannot blame myself because I'm not going to do a research on 37. The Dutch, they have 37 major parties. 17 of them went in the fucking parliament. Like, I'm not going to check all these parties. But for the Israeli election, I will surely make a little more of a background search. Oh yeah, we won in America too. Trump was ousted. I think Europe is and America, the Western world, is returning to normality. If that normality is Obama years or is it post 9/11 years, I don't know yet. But I think we are moving towards a better, brighter future. We are ready to close the chapter of populism and the far right and return to normality. And
it only returns after the coronavirus situation is over.
Of course, COVID is still plaguing Europe, but I think by the next year, if not by the end of this year, COVID will be over. In my country, Greece, about 8 to 9% of the people have already been vaccinated, and most of Europe will be vaccinated. I don't know, Comrade King, you live in some shithole or parts of Russia, you will never be vaccinated, but it doesn't matter. You don't travel much anyway.
Can I also end some statements, or is the stream over already?
Yep. You can make any statements and
wait, shit, one sec. Okay, thanks everyone for watching. I think it was pretty fun to, discuss the Dutch general election of 2021. I also used to watch elections with other people that are not watching elections anymore, so I'm gonna watch them with Alice now. and it will be fun to watch other elections with him,
Yes.
such as the Israeli one. I hope that.
I'm a bit sad that the old left, the Socialist Party and the Social Democrats have lost some seats. But I'm very happy that Volt Europa gained seats, and they're the first, one of the first federalist parties that have representation in the Netherlands. At least in the at least in the Israeli elections, we will want both Netanyahu to lose. So
yeah. Fuck Netanyahu. You know, this is the worst human being in the Middle East, dude. We should just throw him out in the trash where he belongs.
I wouldn't say that he's the worst human being in the Middle East, but he's pretty bad, at least in Israel, I should say.
Yeah, definitely. Well, anyway, guys, yeah. Also check out my channel. I post good shit on there, such as about history and stuff like that. You probably already know me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Search for Google Comrade King. All right. From me, from Comrade King, from Comrade Kazariuko. Have a good night and be safe, my fellow Europeans and proletarians of all the world. Goodbye. Yeah, mate, that was cool. I'm playing now the